Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is ghostmutgaming with me, Christopher, back with Hogwarts Legacy and my first playthrough of the game, playing as a Ravenclaw student on hard difficulty. Well, last time we finished off both Poppy's and Nutsai-Onai's missions, or quest lines, or whatever you want to call it. With Poppy, it was just having a bit of a chat, just wrapping everything up. With Natty, it was a little bit more difficult, because we had to go and kill Harlow. Well, I say difficult, it was more buggy than anything. It was actually quite easy. But we did it, and she learned a bit of an important lesson about what her father did for her back when. So there we go, those are done. We're not done with Sebastian. I've been playing the game a little bit, haven't heard from Ominous, which is what we're waiting for. So I'm a little bit unsure exactly when that is gonna resolve itself, because this might be the last episode. I do not know, I will say that, I have no idea, but it does feel like defending Hogwarts from Ranrok is a big deal, right? It kind of feels like, what is it afterwards that we need to do, apart from, you know, story stuff? This feels like a conclusion to the entire bloody thing. We've done the wand, we defeated Rookwood, we're going back to the map chamber, show off the wand, say that, hey, we're ready for stuff, something's gonna happen. Most likely Ranrock's gonna come, and me and Fig are gonna go to Hogwarts, sort of back to Hogwarts, I suppose, because the map chamber is sort of in Hogwarts, I mean, underneath or something. So, yes indeed, this might be the final episode, but it is also kind of weird that the required level is 24. I mean, it is 24 for this part, but like, I'm 37, I think, and bloody hell. On that note, I checked this a bit. I do have 3 talent points, so there is actually a few things I can spend that on. So for example, in Dark Arts, while I'm not using the Dark Arts, there is a few things that I could be using. For example, this one. Stupefy has the same effect as a curse on enemies. Cursed enemies take increased damage. So if I do a Stupefy, they will be cursed and I will be dealing more damage to them. That's a good thing. And then if we go over to this one, Blood Curse, dealing damage to a cursed target inflicts damage to all cursed targets. So if I get a bunch of Stupefies off, I can start dealing a lot of damage to a lot of people. Doesn't look like it's much, looks like it's about 10% or something, but it is something. So I'm gonna get that one. And then finally, I believe it's not here. I think it is here. Which is, yes, Edurus Potion. While I'm not really using the Edurus Potion, I might. Because I have in, not a previous episode, but between previous episodes, I have actually set up my potion stats. So I'm running 9 of each of the major potions. So I could start using them. I'm really bad at using them because it doesn't really, I don't really need to use them. But I might. Damn it. But as we haven't heard from Ominous, and as I'm not super interested in doing the smaller quests that we have, it's off to the map chamber. See how events unfold.
Victor Rookwood is dead. He confronted me as I left Ollivander's with the Keeper's wand. I had to defend myself.
Godric's heart, are you all right? I know you're well able to defend yourself. I've seen it often enough. But Rookwood himself...
I mean, he was a bit of a pushover. He just had a lot of friends. That was the big deal. And indeed, he got what he deserved, damn it.
He destroyed so many lives and he wouldn't have stopped. I'm glad I was able to put an end to him.
You're right. He wouldn't have stopped. You did what you had to do. With Harlow in custody and Rookwood gone, the wizarding community owes you a great debt.
Thank you for saying so, Professor. I'm ready for what's next.
All right, then. The Keepers have been waiting.
You have completed all of our trials, and you have done so under circumstances even I did not foresee. You understand now why all of this was necessary. The portkey, the vault, the locket, the book, the trials. To ensure that one with the ability you and I share would make the same choice that San, Neve, Charles, and I did.
Now that you have witnessed my memory, you understand all that is at stake. Not everyone is what they seem.
As you know, Light does not exist without shadow, nor shadow without light. Simply because you can eliminate darkness does not always mean that you should.
Even the most well-meaning and competent amongst us cannot possibly know the consequences of manipulating what should be beyond our reach.
What lies in the repository must never be released. Resist the temptation to destroy or control it. The magic that you have so carefully honed must now be used only to protect the secret we keep. You have the wand. You will know when to wield it. We leave our legacy in your hands.
Astonishing.
That must be the way to the repository.
Well, that is a bit interesting, yes. Didn't really expect that
We
to
can
happen.
only hope that we're not too late, and that we find nothing but a repository undisturbed beyond this door.
Oh, I think that's not going to be the case. And also, is this another bug? This little floating light here. That was part of the map. Yeah. Anyway, it is interesting, by the way, because Fig did mention Harlow. And that conversation must have been different than if I had not done Naddy's quest before returning, because he said Harlow behind bars or something like that. Which he wouldn't have been had I not done Naddy's quest, so that's a bit interesting. There's at least some stuff related to sort of what's going on in the world, which isn't always the case in this game. Alright then, final repository. Ranrok has not arrived just yet, but as we're going for the final one, he might very well show up. We shall see when we enter the Keeper's Caverns.
I should hope that the enchantments protecting the castle would protect against an incursion from below.
I fear they may not. Although, if they don't now, I can assure you they will in the future.
Were you able to reach Professor Weasley?
I was. Hopefully she and the others will arrive soon. They know where to find the door through which we entered.
Alright then, cool. Now, one thing that I think... Oh, bloody hell, my memory is not doing its best work today, but what I think I didn't mention in the intro to this episode is that I have been saying that I wanted to do a castle building episode before we're done. Well, if this is the last episode, it's not gonna happen. I don't even think I want to do like a bonus episode or anything like that. But if this isn't the final episode, for some reason, then I will. So next episode is either not gonna happen because we're done, or it's gonna be a castle building episode. The reason why... Alright then.
Damn, the goblins.
I wonder if Ranrok is here.
Let's go.
Well, it probably is, wouldn't you know? Why are you here? I don't need your help, I'm doing this by myself. But alright then. The main reason, as
If
I was
his
gonna
loyalists are
say...
here, he cannot be far behind.
Shut up.
You and I have
Damn
faced
it.
worse, Professor.
I want to talk. There we go. What I wanted to say is that the main reason why I'm not super excited about making a castle is that it's not going to be able to do, or rather I'm not going to be able to do like super specific stuff. It's fairly big building blocks. It's a bit more like, it's not Lego, it's Duplo, if you know what I mean. So it could be fun to do, but I'm not seeing it as like a big thing. So we'll see. We'll see if we do some castle building or not. For now, though, it's time to stop Ranrok and the big drills.
The area must be here somewhere.
We must be getting closer.
Ranrok
Revelio.
will be pleased with our progress.
Well, we'll see. You're not going to be alive to tell him, so that's all fine. I'm just gonna deal with you. The game is really... Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Move. Oh, right then, fine. Bloody hell, that's a lot of people. Go.
Levioso.
This guy here, this guy here. Go.
An utterly pitiful.
Oh crap, oh wow, you just did a regular attack in this day and age. What's up with that? Okay, well,
Bombarda!
oh wow. Alright, you over there. No, that's fine. Wabam!
That was meant for me.
Levioso.
Yes, it was. Now you're...
Accio.
Damn it. Get your health back really fast. Or your
Accio.
shield.
Kill spells
Get
glance
your
off of
shield
me.
back
Leviosa.
very fast. That's the thing. But alright
We
then.
need to press on. Ranrok must be here somewhere.
This drill stands between us and him. We need to move it.
I shall handle it. One moment. Let's go.
I mean, I could have done that as well. I know the Ponzo. I mean, we could have just destroyed it instead of just moving it, but sure, whatever. So I'm gonna say stealth is not gonna be so much an option here. Most likely. Well, what is gonna be an option is obviously ancient magic. So,
Professors,
You
You're
fought
dead.
when I see it.
and there we go, the final.
you're no match for us.
two.
Expulso.
The trolls ought to make
Accio.
quick work.
Get you.
Levioso.
You can't stop us. Ranrok will reign
Potato.
supreme.
I want you to do.
Bombarda.
I will kill you. There we go. So pick up ancient magic.
Accio.
Get you. So,
Levioso.
also for you. Dead. Job, everyone. Me
A
mainly.
dead end. Now what?
Is it though? Is it though? It's not, because this is special. I can see through
Professor,
this.
that wall, that's the way forward.
Very perceptive, my young friend. It worked. Let's go.
No, I didn't even have to do anything. We can weld potions that I do not need.
Ranrok must be getting closer to finding the repository.
I fear you're right, Professor. There's nothing we can do but keep searching.
Uh-huh. It would have been nice with a map to the place from the keepers, but no, probably not. And there's just Wiggenweld potions strewn about. I do not even need them. What I need is ancient magic.
Listen, more goblins up ahead.
But that's fine. Okay, we can. Oh,
What have we here?
no. Apparently, I fluffed that one. That's fine.
Fools of a feather.
Bombarda.
You
Accio.
get you
Oh,
down.
why it's coming back this way?
Levioso.
Ah, crap.
I've been fighting since before you were born.
Accio.
Say that.
Stupefy.
Pity,
Nope.
not quite.
Levioso.
That's fine.
Bombarda.
Bombarda for you.
One less human to worry about.
You're already dead.
All of women
Job. Ow, crap.
You
Accio.
two
Hell happened
against
there?
Ranrock's army.
Levioso.
Is that
Much too slow.
Oh, hello. What's happening?
Accio.
Entirely sure. Kill the commander. Kill that
These
guy.
tunnels haven't brought us much luck so far.
That's fine. A bunch of goblins to kill. I mean, that's not a Wiggenweld potion. Again, Wiggenweld potion drops are green, not yellow. Alright then. So, obviously not up there. We obviously want to go up though. Right? Is it... Hold on. Hold on. Where do I go? I mean, up, obviously, but, like, is it here? This does not feel like... No, that does not feel like where I'm supposed to go. Do I... blow that up? Does that help me in any way? I mean, I'm not 100% sure. Oh!
We're getting closer,
There we
Professor.
go.
That way.
Apparently he gets to do it instead of me.
The goblins have somehow evaded the castle's defensive charms.
Steer them this way! We shall make quick work of them!
They've got this.
Oh, bloody hell is it loud. But alright,
Time to move.
That's
We're
kind
in the
of
thick
cool.
of it now.
All
We'll
the
show these beasts
professors
who's in
coming
charge.
in. And all of the goblins. Goblins
Tiny
being
couldn't be
very,
better, Professor
very
Hackett.
stormtroopery right
Thank
now
you,
without hitting
Professor.
them. Which is lovely. Okay. Hello.
Such arrogance.
Yeah, apparently need to kill these. It's gonna do a man rig on them. Go. Bam, bam, bam. It's gonna do another one.
Rather unwise.
Come on. Do another one. There we go. There we go.
You won't get away with it.
No, that's fine. There we go. Oh, hello.
Look out! Another troll!
Troll.
This one's worse than the last two!
Is it though? It's a fighter troll.
They never go down easy, do
That's a new one. I think. Bloody hell. Oh, crap.
they? Fig, aren't you going to leave some for the rest of us?
Accio! We couldn't be happier to see you, Professor Sharp.
Oh, Sharp is here.
There you are.
Lovely.
Unfinger!
Leviosa!
Let's go. Kill you. Or not. And I could do some.
Leviosa!
I could do the venomous tentacular here.
Expulso!
That's our way forward. The wand! Quickly!
We made it.
I'm relieved we got here before Ranrok.
I can't believe this is it. The repository has been under the castle for hundreds of years.
Think of all the pain that created it. This is what Miriam, George, your friend Lodgok, and countless others died for. Miriam believed this forgotten magic could be used for such good. But she did not know the risks. She did not see what the Keepers have shown you. What Isadora showed you. You are now the Keeper of whatever power it holds. What do you intend to do with it?
Destroy everything. No. Probably don't open the Pandora's orb or whatever it is. I mean, I don't even think a Slytherin would do that. No. It has to be container, obviously.
I plan to leave the repository as it is.
I'm pleased to hear that. I've been thinking.
What is it, Professor?
I spent all year trying to keep our journey a secret from everyone, including Professor Weasley. But now I wonder if I should have shared it with her, and the others, sooner. Trusted them more. The Keepers wanted this secret to be locked away forever. How long will you keep it?
Oh, well that's a different question. Because if no one knows about it, no one can protect it. I mean, if I'm the only person who knows about it, I mean, me and Fig, I suppose, we're the only ones who will be available to protect it if needed. So if more people knew about it and we had, like, proper defenses, etc., etc., that ought to be better, right? So, only for now.
I plan to keep it secret for now. But in time, when I'm ready, I plan to tell those I trust everything and accept their help.
I believe that is what Miriam would have wanted. We should trust in others. If anyone can rise to this challenge, my friend, it is you.
The arrogance of wizard kind. Goblins built this repository. It belongs to us.
Enough, Ranrok. It was never yours.
I've been wanting to play with this.
Miriam's wand.
If she'd simply handed over the container, all of this could have been avoided. Foolish, self-important witch. Seems you were two of a kind. She didn't know when to give up either. To no one!
Well, bloody hell. Okay, if this is not the final boss, then I don't know what is. So what are we doing? Is Fig dead? Most likely, but what are you planning on doing? Where the hell?
It's feeding off the power from the repository.
Do I go? Oh god.
Your beautiful magic is no match for mine, child!
I can't even do anything to this, so sure.
Protego! Stupefy!
Stupefy on you.
My spells are having no effect on the dragon.
Okay, well I see that. There we go. And ancient magic.
That did the trick. I have you now, Ranrok.
Alright then, so...
There seems to be some finding you after all. No matter. I shall come closer, young creature.
Oops. Took a bit of damage there. Go. Stupefy on you. Wait for Thing. Just keep on stupefying until Thing comes out.
Stupefy. Stupefy.
Go. No, just get closer.
You can't stop me.
I see. So that's another piece of the repository, so this is where we're gonna fight him the next time. Sure. Get the thing.
MacLeod.
Bam. Oh, it's gonna be more. It's gonna be
two sources of power.
And then we do...
Don't like that very much, do you?
Go. So now it's gonna be like 3.
You have no idea what you're doing.
I mean, I know a little bit. I'm killing you, that's for damn sure. Oh, hello. Well, that's a boss arena if I ever saw one, yes. Alright then.
You can't run forever, Ranrok. There's nowhere to hide now, Ranrok.
So what are you doing? Oh, dodge, heal.
Levioso.
Bam. Oh, what are you doing? Not entirely sure.
Bombarda.
Get rid of that one. Oh, hello. Get rid of that one.
Levioso.
Get rid of that one. Ancient magic.
Not so powerful now. Are you, Ranrok? I know you're feeling it now, Ranrok.
Oh, hello.
This ends here, Ranrok.
Well, I say that.
Think you can stop me?
Let's go over here.
Accio.
No, crap.
Levioso.
That one done. I need to sort of pick the right ones.
Accio.
Good. Oh, ow. Heal. No. We have one over there. Can reach it. Can't. Reach this one though. Is that good enough? No, it isn't. It absolutely isn't. So let's just open that one over here. Oh crap! No. Oh damn it! Ow! Heal. I healed. That is going to be a purple, which I don't have. There we go. And one more. Now I don't have ancient magic, so that's a bit of a shame. How do I get ancient magic? I probably don't. Oh crap. Oh crap. No.
Accio.
So that was gone.
Levioso.
No, why did you not target the thing I was supposed to target? Bloody hell, you're throwing a lot of stuff at me. There we go.
Bombarda.
Go.
Professor!
You need to contain it! You are stronger than you know.
Professor.
Miriam. Miriam would have loved you, my young friend. The wizarding world could not be in more capable hands.
Professor Eleazar Fig,
I dare say he was a beloved professor to many of you, certainly a long-standing colleague to his peers. A famed adventurer and seeker of knowledge, he built a reputation charging into the unknown, brazenly disregarding both discretion and safety, providing perhaps a rather unfortunate lesson for us all. His devotion to adventure was rivaled only by his dedication to Hogwarts. And of course, to his wife, Midi, whom we lost much too soon as well. Yeah.
Professor Fig represented the best of all of us. He could be deviously clever, possessed a brilliantly inquisitive mind, and was the most loyal of friends. But perhaps it was his remarkable courage, for which we will all be forever indebted to him. If not for Professor Fig, well, I can say with confidence that if not for him, many of us, let alone Hogwarts, would not be here today. Those that knew him best will agree that we must now honor him as only Hogwarts can, by wisely, resourcefully, justly, and bravely facing all that lies ahead.
To Professor Fig!
Never imagined we'd attend a funeral for one of our professors. Glad Weasley spoke for Fig. She honored him. He'll be well remembered. I only wish we could have done the same for Solomon Sallow. I need to go and see Anne soon.
Ominous, there's something I need to tell you. It's to do with Victor Rookwood.
I heard a rumor that he confronted you outside of Ollivander's. Sounds as if you faced quite a fight.
The rumor's true, and I did. But it's not that. Just before Rookwood attacked, he uttered something familiar. The same words Anne heard before she was cursed. Children should be seen and not heard.
Wait, what are you saying?
It wasn't one of Ranrock's loyalists who cursed Anne. It was Victor Rookwood. It was Rookwood all along.
This can't be. The night Anne was cursed, all she saw were goblins.
You see, since Feldcroft was of interest to Ranrock, it became of interest to Rookwood as well. That's why Rookwood was there the night Anne was cursed. He was working with Ranrock. When he saw Anne, well, he didn't want anyone to know.
So he cursed her. Oh, so cruel. Rookwood got what he deserved. Thank you for telling me. Anne and Sebastian deserve to know, and it should come from me. As we discussed, I spoke with Black. Sebastian's with the headmaster now, but perhaps there's a way to get word to him. When I find out, I'll send an owl.
And with that, we're done. Congratulations, you have completed the story of Hogwarts Legacy and reached the end of your school year. With your OWL's exams fast approaching, now's a good time to review your field guide progress. Explore the world, finish any remaining relationship storylines and side quests, and complete your field guide as you see fit. Well, isn't that just lovely? Now there we go, and the Shadow of Revelation is done. So that is presumably indeed concluding Sebastian's storyline. Kind of fun that we did that sort of after the fact that we did the main story. And, well, there we go.
I have news about Sebastian. Meet me in the Undercroft as soon as you can.
Well, okay, alright. I mean, we have some time in this episode, as this actually went quite fast. That was a bit shorter. I mean, the whole point about having fully upgraded ancient magic, both in terms of the amount that you can cast, but also the gear that you have, as I have done, kind of made the last fight, I'm not gonna say trivial, but as final bosses go in games like this, it's definitely the easiest I've done, I think, ever. So, yeah, I don't know if that's perfectly balanced, if you know what I mean. But alright, as we have some time, let's go to the Undercroft, have a chat with Ominous, see what he has to say about Sebastian.
Ominous, I received your owl. What's happened with Sebastian?
He's been expelled, and will soon face trial at the Ministry. Although Anne wanted to turn him in, I think now she's torn. I confess I know how she feels, as much as we all wanted Sebastian to face the consequences of his actions. It will never be the same without him. Just standing here in the Undercroft without Sebastian feels wrong.
Well, I can be your new friend. I mean, I won't really care about you, but I can say that I can. And indeed, in the end, he deserves to be punished in multiple ways.
Sebastian brought all of this on himself. We tried and tried to stop him.
We did. I just wish things had turned out differently.
Were you able to tell Sebastian about Rookwood cursing Anne?
I was. Black let me talk to Sebastian before he left. At first he wouldn't believe it. Then he realized it all made sense. Unfortunately, his anger only grew towards goblins and dark wizards. Anne was shocked too, but in some sense relieved to know the truth about who was responsible. I think it brought her some peace.
I'm glad to hear it. She deserves peace.
She does. Sebastian was my best friend. I can't imagine Hogwarts or anywhere without him. I know you two had grown close, that you were helping each other with more than just finding a cure for Anne. He never gave specifics, but I know it was important. He means a lot to us both. I hope we get the chance to tell him that one day. I know we had a bit of a rocky start, but you've proven yourself as a friend.
Well, alright then, that's all good and well, but I also can't help but see that we are actually, oddly enough, not done yet. We have a main story, which is the prayer for our OWLs. How am I... Need to meet with Professor Weasley. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say this is still the final episode. I don't see myself keep playing this, but I also want to see where this leads. Like, how much is actually left of the game, main story-wise? Because yes, we did the story with Ranrok, but now it appears to be more. Alright then, fine. Let's go and have a chat with Weasley as well then.
Professor Weasley? You wanted to see me?
I did. We haven't had a chance to speak since I know you were quite close with Professor Fig.
Hogwarts won't be the same without him.
No, it won't. But I can assure you that he would want us to press on, and that he would rest easy knowing that the future of the wizarding world is in hands like yours.
Thank you, Professor.
You've had quite a year, both inside and outside of Hogwarts. I've heard all sorts of rumors. You've ridden a graphorn, befriended a goblin, rescued hippogriffs, even helped Mr. Ollivander track down a family wand.
How did you...
It's harder to keep secrets around here than one might suspect. I'm just glad you found such a good friend in Miss Sweeting. It's nice to see her engaging more with her classmates. There have evidently been Snidget sightings in the area lately. If the centaurs are to be believed, 2 Hogwarts students are behind it.
I'm certain I don't know what...
No need to discuss it further. What I would like to discuss is your wizard's field guide. May I see it?
Of course. What do you think, Professor?
I think you've been busy this year. It seems you've nearly completed your field guide. Well done indeed. With your OWLs soon upon us, I am thrilled to see you so prepared. I will confess, I had a sense about you from that first moment you came bursting in, late, to the sorting ceremony. I am pleased to see that my instincts were correct. To think you've only been with us a year and you'll already be taking your OWLs, well, it's nothing short of astonishing.
Thank you, Professor, for everything.
You are most welcome. I look forward to seeing what you do during the rest of your time with us.
Well, now I feel kind of bad for not actually having it at 100%. But sure. Also, there's a thing here. There are a lot of letters that I actually haven't picked up while I've been exploring Hogwarts. Thought I would at some point do that on while recording, but I haven't. But let's do this one from Ferris Spavin, the Minister for Magic, to Professor Weasley. Thank you for your owl. I am overjoyed to hear that this most recent crop of 7th years include a number of students who may be both interested in and well suited for a career at the Ministry. Of course, their OWLs will provide confirmation of the latter, but equally invaluable to our recruitment process is your opinion. You have a unique perspective given your experience with us, and for that I'm truly grateful. I look forward to further updates as the term progresses. Alright then, so yeah, that's just a bit of lore again. Alright then, so I assume that what we're doing now is taking the owl. No, it's now it's the house cup. Oh, complete your... Do I really need to do that? Bloody hell. Alright then, well, why don't we go to the Great Hall first then and have a bit of a look whether or not I actually have to do that or not. Let's see.
This year, we have seen our students exemplify the bravery of Godric Gryffindor. Allow me to finish. The loyalty of Helga Hufflepuff. The wisdom of Rowena Ravenclaw. And the ambition of Salazar Slytherin. And so, the winner of this year's House Cup...
Excuse me, Headmaster, if I may. One particular student's heroism during the attack on Hogwarts, not to mention the level to which they have excelled in their coursework, as a new student, no less. Well, it would seem that it certainly merits, I'd say, 100 points to their house. Wouldn't you agree?
Ah, yes. Thank you, Professor Weasley. I suppose we have our winner.
We got the cup! Yes! Woo! Hey! Oh, yeah! Yes!
And that's the end of the game. And yes, okay, fine, I realized that they sort of had to do that. considering the attack on Hogwarts that had to sort of come before. It would have been kind of weird if we sort of finished everything and then the attack happened. It does, however, put a kind of a weird tempo or phase, or whatever you want to call it, to the game, where you finish the game and then you do some more, which is still part of the game, very much, and leads into the outro, which is, yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, but I can see why they had to do that. Also, I want to point out two things. Number one, Professor Weasley definitely called it a grap horn, not a graph horn. So either you can pronounce it both ways, or they made another mistake in the game. And also, I love the voice actor for Professor Black. He is clearly the best. So there you go. That's the entirety of Hogwarts Legacy. And I don't exactly know what I want to do about sort of an outro for this game, because I've done 2 videos up until this point, one for Cyberpunk 2077 and one for Elden Ring. And I kind of want to do a similar thing for this game, but on the other hand, I don't know that it's going to be that long. I have a few points that I can bring up about this game, and you know what? Let's just do it now. So, what I think about this game is that it is, as a summary, a game about lost potential. Because it is a game set in a world that's, you know, filled with stuff. And what they've done is a story that feels a little bit forced in some ways. So we can talk about the basics first, which is that the game is not polished at all. There's a lot of stuff with the graphics, which I luckily found not a mod, but a configuration for, to make it look better. Made it look a little bit darker, sure, but a lot of lighting and stuff like that worked better. Still not good, still not good. I mean, the graphic quality, as such, is great, like models and the quality of, what am I saying? The quality of textures. There we go, that's the word I was looking for. That's fine. Animations, not that great. Voice animation, character animation, not that great. I mean, if you compare this game to, let's say, The Witcher 3, in The Witcher 3, whenever you talk to a character, and there's like a cutscene, like it is in this game, exactly the same, it's a custom cutscene. Like, all the animations are specifically for that cutscene, for every scene of that dialogue. That's not the same in this game. In this game, it's the in-game camera, so to speak, just shifting positions. So when you talk to a varied amount of characters, they will just do standard animations on repeat, which doesn't look good. And it feels very, very unpolished in some ways. And a game like this, with the price tag it has, should do better. Should do quite a lot better. So yeah, I'm gonna say that's not the best they've ever done. I say that, I don't exactly know what other games they have done, Avalanche. Really? I should know that, but never mind. So there are things about that I don't really like. There are other things as well that we could talk about, which is, for example, just the world, which is an interesting world as such, but it again feels very forced, the whole world, because there is a bunch of collection stuff that you can do in the world, and I mentioned this before, which is that it doesn't really follow with what the game wants you to do, and I'm talking, for example, specifically about Merlin Trials. Let's talk about Merlin Trials. This does extend to other things as well, but let's talk about Merlin Trials, because number one, I think I mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. When you do your first Merlin trial, that is to say, your first unique kind of a Merlin trial, you feel a bit good about yourself. You solved the trial, you understand how to do it. Granted, most of them are not difficult, but you still did it. The second time you reach the same kind of Merlin trial, you're gonna say, hey, you know what, I know what to do. Look at me being an expert in all of that. The third time and fourth time and fifth time and sixth time you do the same kind of trial, it's now being tedious. So yeah, they should probably have made the trials more extensive and had fewer of them. And on point of the number of Merlin trials that exist, yes, that's also an issue, because I maxed out on the challenges for Merlin trials, and I had like 30 or 40 more to do. Why was it that many? What would be the point of me doing more Merlin trials? There wouldn't be any. So why are there that many? It doesn't make sense. And kind of the same goes for other things as well, like the landing platforms, the balloons and stuff like that. It's like you didn't have to have that much of it. It feels very much like exploration is forced. It's not done. It's not done organically, if you would. And I assume sort of that the whole of the southern coast area is going to be part of like a DLC or something, because we really did not do much of the main story in there. So it feels like they're going to put something more significant in there in the future. I'm going to say that that might be it. But yeah, I don't know. So that's some of the things. But let's go to the actual main story, which is something that I've been thinking about, and I think that there could have been a different way they could have done it that would have felt more logical in some ways, because they've sort of banked the entire main story on the fact that for some reason there are people who doesn't get any magic affinity until the age of 15, when they apparently all of a sudden can do magic really, really well, like better than anyone else, as well as seeing the ancient magic. They didn't have to do it that way. I kind of vaguely understand why, because you create your character, and if they do it any other way, they would have to have some sort of system where your character ages. But they've already done that in, let's say, Fallout 3. We've had that for like so very long. Now granted, Fallout 3 is not a game similar to this, but yes, I mean, you could easily have said that, what is your character going to look like at the end of the game? Good, set that up, now we will just transition this character to be younger. And they could have easily done that, and the way I see it, you should have arrived at Hogwarts at year 1. Year 1 would have been the tutorial year. This is where you learn basic cast, you learn, I don't exactly know which spells you would learn, but this is where you would learn the basics. So first year, pretty short, you do some things, there you go, you've moved on to second year. In second year, that's when you learn about ancient magic. All of a sudden you can see things. Or maybe you could have even seen it in the first year, but you were a first year student, so you wouldn't really pay it any mind, really. But in the second year, you start seeing it possibly more and more, and you could have gone from there. You could have been... You could basically have the same story, but just spanning over multiple years instead of what they did. Because part of this game is that it's Hogwarts Legacy. We just did 1 year of Hogwarts. That's it. And we didn't really get the Hogwarts experience either. And one of those things that I'm talking about is the House Cup. Now apparently in the end here, we got 100 points for doing what we did. That was the first points that was awarded the entire year, because whatever you do in the game doesn't actually affect anything with regards to points. If we remember from very early on when we did our first potions class, I think I was awarded points for something. Sharp didn't say how many points, but we did get awarded points. They did not show up in the counting glasses for the houses, so where did those points go? It would have been much better if each year had an actual house cup that could have actual different outcomes depending on what you do. So if you do something that would have awarded you points and you failed, someone else would have gotten those points. And in the end there would be a tally and a house would have won, and it doesn't have to be your house. And there could have been an achievement for winning the house cup every single year, for example. They didn't do any of that. So it feels a little lackluster the way they've done it. And there are a bunch of things around Hogwarts that... I mean, there's a lot of lore in this game, and I appreciate that. I appreciate a game that takes its time to sort of explain the world. And there's a lot of stuff that you don't get in, like, the books or the movies, etc, etc. So it's kind of cool that they added a whole bunch of stuff into the game. But it still feels like there could be more. It could be more. I think I'm gonna sort of end my little discussion of this game right there, because there might be some more things to say, but in the end, as I said, as a summarization, it feels like an unpolished game. It could have been in production a bit more, but there are also some decisions that I don't think really worked as well as they could have if they would have done it differently. So yeah, that's basically where I'm gonna leave everything off. I've had a fun time with it, not gonna lie, but I'm also kind of happy that we're done. I might go back and sort of finish off some stuff, but I don't really know if I want to do that. I did the main thing. I did the main story up until the sort of end of the game, and also the relationship quests. I'm pretty happy that I'm done with all of that. Now, this has put me in kind of a difficult spot as for what comes after this game, because there is a game that I want to play on this slot on the channel, but that game doesn't release in just over a month. I'm not gonna say more than that. You can probably figure out which game it is from that information. If you do, good on you. If you don't, well, you will be surprised when it comes. But that means that I have a very short amount of time to fit something in between. I have an idea. I have an idea for a game that I've looked at. It's a beautiful site for people like me. I've mentioned this before. There's a site called howlongtobeat.com. You go there, you push in your game, or you type in the game title, and you can see what time people have finished games in. And it can be a pretty good indicator of how long a series will be. It's not going to be 100%, of course, because you would have to play the game exactly like those people would have. But I have a game that on that site says if you do main story only, nothing else, no fancy extra bits, it's about 4.5 hours. So I know that I will be doing it in more time than that, but if my calculations are correct, we are about it would be almost 10 possible episodes until the series that I'm talking about, or the game that I'm talking about, is released. Because I'm doing 2 videos a week, that becomes about 8 videos a month, and it's a bit more than a month, so around 10 episodes, which I think would actually possibly fit that game quite well. Because obviously, if you think about that site and what it tells you, you have to remember that I'm also narrating. I'm going around, I'm talking, I'm standing still quite a lot of time, I'm not just sort of plowing through the game. So it will be longer just because of that, and then I obviously usually want to be not necessarily completionist, but at least I want to do things fairly thorough, so to speak. So it might very well that is the game that I'm doing, which would be a little bit fun as well, because I've been looking forward to play that game. So you know what, on Sunday, most likely there's going to be a series that's going to start that's going to be slightly shorter, but that's also going to be quite fine, I think. So I hope you've enjoyed my playthrough of Hogwarts Legacy. I have, to some extent. It's been an okay experience. Not the best of games, not the worst of games, but it definitely has some potential if they want to keep working on it, I suppose. For now though, this has been ghostmutgaming with me, Christopher. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.